Hi guys, welcome to the Course Creators Network Facebook group. I'm here going live with my good friend Andy Black. He is a superstar when it comes to marketing, knowing people, AdWords, just a whole lot of amazing stuff. All right, Andy, let's get started. So a lot of people, they think they have to have a lot for their launch. They have to have a web page and they have to have a whole lot of, lead magnets and all this other stuff. But you kind of didn't do really any of that. I know you have a $15 program that you just kind of posted on Facebook.
Yeah. I was thinking of going down the route of creating a nice sales page with like a coming now announcement, enter your email address. And I'd been thinking about that for a couple of weeks. And one evening I was annoyed with myself that it had taken so long. I had not done it. And it was just after midnight and I wanted to go to bed. I was like, right, I'm just going to post something on Facebook. And it was like, I'm thinking of doing a Google Ads boot camp. It's going to consist of like videos, a Facebook group, maybe occasional Zooms. I'm going to price it at $15 a month because I want to help more people. Is anyone interested? Thanks. Mm-hmm. And then I went to bed and I woke up and 15 people had replied, 17 people had replied saying, I'm interested. And I was like, oh, okay. What do I do now? So, I woke up to the replies. So I didn't create a page, a website. I didn't do any fancy graphics for that little post. I just posted it almost like as conversational post to my Facebook profile as well. And I've got enough people in my friends list, maybe 800, 900 people that know that I do Google Ads and that I'm reasonably good at it. That enough people went, oh, I'm interested. So they raised their hand. And then I was wondering, well, what do I do? And I think I even posted in some sort of course creators group going, I've got 17 people say they're interested. What do I do now? How do I get their email addresses? And somebody said, use a Google form. Which I've never used before. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They're free. So I created a little Google form, asked various questions, and then I PM'd every person who'd said they were interested, said, oh, look, thanks for your interest. I've been kind of inundated. I didn't expect so many. I've created a little form, a little survey. If you could fill that in, it will help me to figure out how best to help you.
Yeah. You just posted it, just text on your personal Facebook, and you got a bunch of people already raising their hands. And then, you asked them, kind of what they wanted and stuff on that Facebook, the Google form. But before this, you kind of had, you were posting in forums and stuff, right? You were already giving out like free content. So people already liked you and you were kind of an expert in that field.
Yeah. So I was known in quite a few forums, but there's one in particular that I joined maybe in 2014. I just stayed there. It's like my home online, and I posted quite a lot of stuff about Google Ads. And I figured out that you get known as the XYZ person, the XYZ guy, the XYZ girl. If you post a lot, if you talk a lot about something, if you help people with it, and also if you're seen to help people with it. So it got to the point where if somebody had a problem in that forum, I'm having a problem with Google Ads, somebody would tag me, go and speak to Andy Black, or tag me to come into the thread and help. And that's kind of how you know that you've been positioned a certain way in that particular community. So I've been doing that quite a lot. And then obviously people had sort of come over from that forum to my Facebook page to just, profile, and friended me. So yes, I'd got known in that community as a Google Ads guy, but more importantly, it was a community and I was a member of the community, just participating and joining in. And, most of my posts in there, like 11,000 posts in sort of 6 years, nothing to do with Google Ads. It's just me being another member of the community, like somebody would have a problem with this. Ooh, have you tried that? Sort of, just being supportive and whatnot. So I think probably the most important part is if people, as we know, if they know, like, and trust you, and then they think you're competent at whatever it is you do, then that's kind of enough for them to, if they're interested in it, to raise a hand or to actually refer you on. And over the years, I've got all my business through referrals anyway.
Yeah. So organic that way. Nice.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But if you're going through the comments and you're like, I would do that. You might try this one instead, or here's an idea. People are like, oh, this person knows what they're doing. And they're
helpful as well.
You. Yeah, helpful. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So going back to after the survey, what did you, after you got all these responses from, what people wanted, where they were at, what'd you do then?
Well, first off, reading the responses was amazing. The questions I asked, I took a course in about 2009 from a guy called Glenn Livingston. And one of his students was Ryan Levesque, who wrote the Ask method. They came up with the Ask method, the Ask book. But it's based off Glenn Livingston's stuff. And he would ask, so I asked some questions, obvious ones like, are you a business owner, or yes or no? Are you running Google Ads? Yeah. Do you want to run it for yourself or clients? So sort of multiple choice questionnaire. And then I asked some open-ended ones of like, what is it? What's the most important thing you're looking for, want to learn about XYZ, in this case, Google Ads? And then after that would be like, why is this the most important thing that you're looking for about XYZ or to learn? And then it'd be like, another question is like, how difficult has it been for you to learn this? And then I had like, if I was to create a course on this, what do I have to do to blow your socks off? And then I had another question of like, I might want to speak to you about this. Would you give me your, contact details? And so most people did. And the reason you're asking those questions is you're trying to learn what people are saying, but also you've asked it open-ended. The people who put a load down as a response really write a lot, are really quite frustrated. They've probably been around the block along, quite a while trying to find the answers to this, and they can't find it, and they're hoping that you're going to be the solution. So they write a lot. So I actually ended up with 40 email responses. And the good thing, survey responses. And the good thing about Google Forms is they drop straight into a Google Sheet. So you can look at it as like a big spreadsheet. And I could look at who wrote an awful lot compared to the few people who they're not that interested. But, I'll be quite interested. I want to learn this to maybe do it. But some people wrote stacks. And what Glenn was saying was, if you pay attention to the people who write a lot, if they're the most frustrated, the hardest to please, if you can figure out how to please those people, then you're probably going to please all the other ones as well. So most people try and please everybody. And what he was saying was, and they would worry about just pleasing a few. But he says, if you please these hyper responsives, then you're likely to please everyone else, Or
at least 90%.
Yeah. So first off, I read all of those. It's very funny. It's quite conflicting. Some of it is like, some people are like, I want the videos to follow along. Other people, I don't want videos. I want transcriptions because I don't like. But I kind of, the feedback I got was what I expected from business owners. They really just wanted to get going. They don't want to get bogged down in too much detail. So once I got those, I spent the next couple of weeks creating a new Zenler installation, which I'd never used before. And then I was going to I had these courses already in a different format on Thinkific, but the Google Ads interface had changed anyway. So I thought I'd better redo all these videos. And I'd spotted that recently Google was forcing people into creating smart campaigns. So I was trying to get people to avoid doing that. So I recreated the videos, and maybe 17 days later, I just popped up on Facebook again and said, right, I've got it created. I'm looking for maybe 5 people who want to get in early, just so I can see that the payment works and everything's working. I had a stack of people saying they're interested again. But only one person sort of signed up that weekend when I sent the link. Because I sent the link out Friday night, which probably maybe not the best time, but whatever. I learned. And then the next week, I kind of PM'd everybody in that initial thread. So it was about 50 people. Yeah. I personally messaged them again saying, oh, I've opened the bootcamp. Here it is. And then I actually then replied on the Facebook profile post, replied to them as well. So that kind of got more engagement in the actual post.
Yeah. So it boosts it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So then that next week I got 15 signups, and then the week after 7, and it kind of trickled away, once I got that initial group of people who were already interested. And then it's like it went to 0 over Christmas, and then there was 1 sign up, and then 2 the next week, 11 last week. No, sorry, the week before, because I've been on a podcast, a subscription box show podcast, and then a few last week. And so now 12 weeks later, I'm at 44 members and about $925 monthly recurring revenue. It's slightly more than $15 because I got a $150 membership as well, and some people are in there as well. So so I'm delighted that it's just took off, not too fast, because I'm kind of in the Facebook group trying to figure out where people are stuck now that they've been through the course, and to try and add the next bits on. So I'm not overloaded at the minute. by getting too many people in.
Yeah, no. And I think that's important. You can follow them and see, where are the bottlenecks?
Yeah. Where people are all seeming to get stuck. So I do like Facebook. I didn't use Facebook so much now, but even like in the group, just put something up of like, where are you all at? You're at this stage, 1 for this, 2 for that, 3 for this, and then people start all replying. You go, oh, everybody's at number 2, in this particular level, framework or whatever process. So then I said a day later, it was like, right, I'm thinking of doing a Zoom workshop to discuss how to go from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or whatever it was. Anyone interested? Bang, a few people saying they're interested again. And that was it. So that workshop was Monday.
Mm-hmm. Where do you keep all your videos?
In that new Zenler installation. So
yes.
Yeah. So I've got it on I didn't even have a domain for this when I started out. So once I had all these people interested, it's like, oh, what domain am I going to put it on? So I didn't even think of that. So bought a new domain, installed new Zenler on the root of the domain, just got going, and it's nice. It's very intuitive to get up and running, create sales pages for your course and checkout page, thank you page, course access page. Everybody's gone in. I can email people from within New Zenler. I don't have to hook up MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or anything. So that's been pretty good. And then now I've got to the point where like, oh, okay, I want a blog on this website. So I can have articles, send people to, and then New Zenler's not great for a blog. So I've tried to create a sort of page. So now I'm getting my techie. I said, right, go and create me a WordPress installation, and we'll put WordPress on probably, the root of the website. And then New Zenler will become like academy dot, subdomain or courses dot whatever. So, and that's my style, is just to get going as fast as possible. Pick a tool, go with it. Didn't bother with the blog, and now it's the blog. Now I've got the blog. It's like, oh, okay, maybe I should have WordPress as the homepage, and have a menu for the courses. And when people click on that, they go to the New Zenler. But like maybe like the front, when most people, when they interact with the site or get sent to the site or find it for Fire SEO, it's the WordPress pages now. Yeah,
you don't have to have it all set up when you're just starting. Like your $15 boot camp, I mean, it's like it was small and it was good enough, and you didn't have New Zenler. Was that even a thing back then when you first started?
Yeah, well, sorry, when I first started with my course maybe 4 years ago, I released the course standalone with that not being a membership. That was on Thinkific. Probably New Zenler wasn't around.
Yeah,
but I only just signed up to it about whatever it was, 27th of November, just before, actually 10th of November, when I probably decided, got all that feedback. I was like, I'll go and find something. I like Thinkific because it has a free plan. And so I've got, say, 120 people bought my previous course, and I don't have to pay monthly for it because I'm not trying to get more people into it. So it's on the free plan, and so they still have access, lifetime access. That's great. But what I didn't like about Thinkific is I couldn't figure out how to create sales pages or just a decent page. Whereas New Zenler, it's a lot more intuitive. And New Zenler is like, whatever, $447 per year at the minute.
Yeah, right now. I know it'll go up eventually. Yeah. They say when the pandemic's over, they stopped the pricing hikes because of the pandemic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like it. It's a great tool. It does have little issues, but
I think it's because it's all in one. You got your email, you got your sales pages, you got your course stuff, you got coupons and whatever else. You don't have to, like you said, plug in MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or any of those. And I think they have it where you can also do Zoom through them.
Yeah, I believe so. So I've done that one Zoom, but I literally I just posted it in the Facebook group. I said, right, here's the link. And then an hour before I was like, oh, I can mail people the link from New Zenler. So then I mailed them, so and then I apologized to everyone. So next time I'll do it in some kind of way that you can add it to your calendar, whatever. So I just sort of go for it, and I still had about 10 people show up to it, so that was fine. My only little thing, I suppose, with New Zenler is it doesn't allow people members to subscribe using PayPal, so it's only Stripe.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, and that I was going to switch from New Zenler to something else, but then somebody upgraded from $15 to $150, and I was like, look, this is obviously good enough for folks. I'll just get going with it. And then also for me, my target market are kind of business owners who should really have a credit card anyway. Especially if they're going to run Google Ads, they're probably going to have a credit card. So I do have a few people asking about PayPal, but I just do it by hand then. I end up going to email and go, right, here's a link. Click on that, subscribe to this free course, and I'll upgrade you once you pay, and then I'll try and manage it going forward. So I do a lot of stuff by hand. And we were just chatting beforehand as well. You're saying, do I do any coaching with folks? For $15 a month, it shouldn't really be doing coaching, but I'm quite happy to jump on a quick call, 15-minute, half an hour call with people if they're stuck, to try and figure out where they're stuck. So I know if there's a gap in the video courses or what other lessons to bring out for them.
So with the PayPal stuff and other stuff like that, do you do all of it personally, or do you have a VA or that kind of stuff?
No, I'm doing it myself at the moment. I don't envisage there being too many people wanting to pay by PayPal. And I'll figure that out. If it starts getting too many, then yes, I might get somebody in the team to do it, or we'll maybe try and get Thrivecart to be the payment gateway, and then Zapier or whatever, so that when people pay, they end up getting on the New Zealand course.
Yeah.
I had a look at that before Christmas, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this for the minute. I'll just do it by hand. If it becomes a problem, I'll fix it. And that one of my favorite lines is, overthinking is the art of solving problems you don't have.
Yeah, so that's a great one.
Yeah, and that keeps me on the straight and narrow. Sometimes it's like, do I have that problem yet? No, I don't. It's not a problem for me. Like once every 2 weeks, someone says they want to pay by PayPal, I'll just do it. If it was like once a day or, multiple times a day, then it's a bit of as a problem for me to solve. But then also I've got more revenue to solve it. It's just pay somebody to do it. Yeah.
Do you have like VAs? I think you said
not so much VAs. I've got a freelance developer full time in my team, because for former clients, sometimes we have to create landing pages for them, because I provide Google Ads as a consulting service to clients. So that's basically what's paying my bills at the moment, is being a Google Ads consultant. That's obviously, and I'm still at the coalface. At one point, I was trying to build an agency and hiring other Google Ads folks, and I was becoming more of the business owner manager, and I just realized I didn't enjoy it. It's not me. I like being a techie. I like doing the work. I like talking to the business owner, knowing what's going on in the account. I like being able to, they'll tell me something, I can interpret that, and then instantly go make the change in front of them on the call. And I figured that in today's environment, especially with COVID and stuff, there's so many people are online. They know that courses are a great way of learning. A lot of people are comfortable paying, with Udemy taking off and all that sort of stuff. So as a technical specialist, I can have clients who I deal with, deal with, who I can help. And obviously I can only scale to so many clients.
Yeah.
But while I'm at the coalface, my knowledge is like, I still know how to do the work. So if I can figure out how to record it, other people can look over my shoulder and learn how to do it for their own accounts. And obviously there's also a lot of people want to become Google Ads freelancers, so they want to learn it as well. And that's what some of the more advanced courses are, is like how to manage clients and stuff like that. But I just think courses is great. So at the minute, so I'm getting up to maybe 1,000 a month MRR, monthly recurring revenue. I'd like to get up to, the 10K and then beyond, and I think it's very doable.
No, and I think, courses are a great way to scale like an already successful business. How did you get into like Google Ads?
Right. That was in about 2009. So I was an IT dude for about 15 years, and it was kind of boring stuff, looking after databases I got paid well, but I wanted to do something a bit more interesting, more front end, like build websites. And I know I don't like getting books and just learning from a book. I didn't want to learn to build websites. I wanted to be able to build websites. So I looked around at all my friends, and I was, at the time, 2009, the economy was tanking. And I had a friend who was an electrician, and his work all dried up. Had a wife, 2 kids, baby on the way, had to hand his van back.
Yep.
So it was like, oops. So I was
oh my gosh.
I want to learn how to build websites, is what I said to him. And he's like, done, let's just do it. So he bit my hand off before I'd finished my sentence. So I built the website. I think I built it in Joomla. Then I built it in WordPress. Then I was like, doesn't matter what it's built in. I'm trying to help him get phone calls, to stop messing around with the tech. Got something built. He loved it, but it didn't generate any phone calls for him, because that's when I realized, oh, you don't just build a website. People have to visit it. So I was learning in SEO, got some books on that, try and get ranked top for all these keywords and whatnot. And then an AdWords voucher fell out of a book. I was like, oh, okay, €50. So I threw that into account, bid on Dublin Electrician and a few other things. And then he rang me and said, Andy, I've had a phone call. I was like, whoa, amazing.
I've had a phone call. Yeah. I've actually had a phone call.
I know. And I was gobsmacked. Mouth was hanging open, because I was an IT dude used to just looking after systems, not actually physically helping somebody keep a roof over their head. But like, you should have heard his voice, or, you know, I've just thrown him a lifeline. So that's why I have this affinity to trying to help the little guy. And also I'm like a one-man band kind of thing as well. But like, I do have some corporate clients, and I've had bigger corporate clients, but I'm kind of moving away from those to helping the smaller guy. But that's how I got started. And the lessons in that were, my goal wasn't to learn how to do something. You know, my goal was to help somebody. And this, you know, having a website was a way to help them. And that stopped me from getting distracted by, you know, all these little rabbit holes. There's so many rabbit holes with tech, isn't there? You know, courses and websites and all this stuff, all the platforms, all of this and that. Whereas literally if my goal is to help somebody, then all that kind of stuff gets out of the way.
With this one problem.
Yeah. And I came across a line. It's actually my favorite business quote. It's from Mother Teresa. And her line was, never worry about numbers, help one person at a time, and always start with the person closest to you.
Didn't you have that on your Facebook profile or something?
That is on my Facebook profile.
Yeah.
I love it so much. It just sits there. It just sits there as like, it's always there up on the left menu, as my only featured photo. And it's there deliberate because it is my favorite quote. And then if someone else sees that and likes it, then we've got a bit of more of a connection, or I'm attracting the right kind of people to, you know, the way I think. And it's, as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh wow, that's exactly what it is. That's how I started this particular business. Is I literally looked around at the people I could help, and I decided to help somebody, the people I already knew. And again, that's how I've got this little membership going. It's like, well, I'll just post my Facebook profile, people who already know me, you know, and see who wants help. And I think business is as simple as helping people and then getting paid. That's it. Help people get paid. You need to get both to be in business. And we have a habit of overcomplicating it and doing all sorts of other stuff that isn't necessary. So whenever I get stuck, I just remember her quote, and then the other one of like, well, does this help? Does this help somebody? You know, so if me creating another video to put into my course, or another 20 videos to put in the course, if it doesn't help them because I'm overloading them, then it's not the right thing to do.
Yeah. So keep it simple. Don't overwhelm yourself.
Definitely. Definitely keep it simple. So that overthinking line, it also keeps me on the straight and narrow as well.
So after he was like, oh my gosh, I got, a call where you're like, oh, this stuff actually works.
100%. That was, because he said it as well. Andy, I had a phone call. It works. And I was like, oh, it works. And I was walking around this office. I had a mobile phone in my hand, and we weren't supposed to have mobile phones on this IT floor. 20, 30 IT staff. We weren't supposed to have mobile phones on us. And I stood up walking around with a mobile phone going, oh, it works. It's amazing. And we ended up, because I was a kind of data dude, we ended up running his ads, and I analyzed his ads, and they'd showed 10,000 times 1 month, and he had 300 clicks. But I was interested, what did the 9,700? They saw your ad, but they didn't click. What were they looking for? So I kind of analyzed it. I said, right, you showed 2,000 times for people looking for an electrician Dublin, hardly any time, 12 times for smoke detector installers Dublin, which he thought was going to be his $1 million idea because of all the landlords who needed smoke detectors. And then I was like, well, 5,000 times. Your ads have showed half for washing machine repairs, cooker repairs, and oven repairs. So we sort of literally blew away the electrician website I'd been building. I just created a washing machine repair website, an oven repair website, and a cooker repair website. I sent the visitors to those, and that was it. So he's 10 years later, that's still what he does.
So it wasn't, people weren't searching for electrician, they were searching for washing machine repair.
There was more
And
people searching for the appliance repairs than electricians, and we could get them to the page because the electricians weren't really bidding on that. You know, they were
yeah.
mostly bidding on electrician Dublin, so that was super competitive. Less people were bidding on washing machine repairs Dublin. A lot of people searching, and then also it's quite a low ticket, service.
Yeah.
You're not expecting it to cost a lot, but you're
Yeah.
quite desperate if your washing machine's not working.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not
piling
searching
up.
that one because it's fun. You're searching because you need it now.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like wiring and rewiring, and it's quite a high ticket job. It's going to cost you a lot. You're going to be shopping around from website to website. So
Yeah.
and then it's also more expensive, the clicks, because people know it's like a higher ticket thing. So as soon as we found we could get all the volume there, we just threw away everything else. So and that's part of what I try and teach people, or why I'm so into Google Ads, is that on that whiff of spend, so he spent about €75 back in 2009 for those 300 clicks. You could run some campaigns and just have a whiff of spend, because you only pay for the clicks, but still count the impressions and figure out what people are searching for. So if you sold red widgets, blue widgets, and green widgets, you could load those up as keywords, have $5 a day budget for a week or two, and then find out, whoa, loads of people are looking for blue, not the red. And we've got a warehouse full of red. Can we just paint them all blue and sell them now? So as a business owner, knowing what everyone's looking for, you can just go and stand in front of them, and sell your product, rather than trying to force something onto the market that they're not looking for.
Yeah, so go with what they're looking for. And Google Ads allows you to kind of see what those keywords that they're actually searching for are.
Yeah. So that's why I love Google Ads, and that's kind of why I'm still doing it, sort of 10 years later. Plus also, I get a kick out of somebody going, "Oh my God, it works." Andy, it works. I got a phone call, or I made a sale. I tell everyone whenever they get their first ad impression, they should celebrate that. It's like, you've actually created your ad. You can actually see it on Google. It was funny. I did have a call with somebody, and I talked him through creating his own ad. This was years ago, and it was a free chat, and I've done probably hundreds of free chats with folks just trying to help them. And he created his ad, and then he did a search on Google, and he was so excited. He called his wife over to have a look at his ad. Look at our ad. We did that. I did that. That's my ad. That is my ad for my business up on Google.
I did that. That's mine.
I did that. And then I was like, perfect. Now you're going to start getting impressions in your account of your ad showing that's you doing the search. Wait until you get some impressions and it's not you. So celebrate that. It's not you. It's not your mum who you've told them about the ad or whatever. So celebrate getting some impressions, and then celebrate your next first of getting a click, which is a visitor to your website. And then if you can get somebody to actually contact you, or your phone to ring or whatever, you'll be looking at it. That first one, you'll be looking at it, go, whoa, it works. I mean, that's the same with like any, Facebook ads or anything. If you're doing something and that first one gives you the hope, and it just opens up a new horizon for you, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what do you say to people who don't want to like pay for the ads? They just kind of want to do, the organic stuff only.
I do organic. I've been, since 2009 till now, I help businesses with Google Ads. And I've managed a team of 35 Google Ads specialists spending €120,000 a day. So it's kind of hardcore stuff I've been doing. And then I built 120 million keywords and ads for another startup so they could get 15,000 email signups a day. So it's been hardcore stuff I'm doing. I've been helping little businesses as well. And that's paid my bills for the last 10, 11 years. But since 2000 till now, I've never run ads for my own business.
Yeah.
I've literally just bounced around helping people in forums, Facebook groups a bit more now, live workshops, go to a workshop and it's like LinkedIn for business. So I'm there I want to learn LinkedIn for business or whatever it is. And at the start, they'll say, so can everyone introduce themselves and what your business is? So I'll say, oh, I'm Andy, I do those little Google ads. And somebody will make a little note of like, oh, goodness, we have somebody who does Google ads. And then they'll get you at the coffee break. So my business has been built by just building relationships and people over. I don't even bounce in going, oh, this is what I do. I don't make it a big announcement. I just come in as a peer. Like, so if I join a Facebook group, it's because like I'm in the Thinkific Facebook group because I'm using Thinkific. You know, I don't join Facebook groups of electricians to try and get electrician clients. I go into Facebook groups where, you know, I'm a peer. I want to be in there as part of the community anyway. And then over time, people are like, I might spot somebody saying something, go, oh, you could do this. And they're like, oh, how do you know about that? Well, this is kind of what I do, actually. There you go. It's just literally somebody else summarized it for me. Said, Andy, well, it seems like you just make friends first, build relationships, and then stuff happens. I'm like, actually, that's been my style. So when people say we're going to do the organic first, I go, oh, if you mean by like getting word of mouth referrals and getting people getting to know you and using your network, your closest network, then I tell them I'm all for it. In fact, I tell them to do that first before you go to cold traffic. I hate the word traffic. It's visitors to your website. It's not traffic.
Because they're people.
They're people.
They're not
clicks either. I don't call them clicks. They're people. I'll tell the client you had X number of visitors to your website last week. Isn't visitor a much better word? If you've got a visitor to your house, you want to treat them well. If you've got a click, it's like, well, what is that? You know, but it's actual person. You had this many visitors. But like those cold visitors who don't know anything about you and they hit your website, they're nowhere near as good as somebody who's been referred to you. And I've had people come through to me because somebody else who just knows that I do Google Ads. They say, oh, somebody said that you do Google Ads. And that's enough for them to, like, you know, there's a lot more trust going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, even if they don't know the other person.
Someone that refers you, you're probably going to get, you know, the person who gets referred and, you know, they're far more likely to buy because they trust the person who referred you. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. So I do tell people I ask people actually, so how do you currently get, you know, new business? And is it, what are you doing with your current network? Who are your current network? You know, or somebody who's just trying to get started in business. For instance, it happens quite a lot where people ask, how do I get my first Google Ads client? And I'm like, well, ask around family and friends. Is there anybody? Just tell them. Just say, oh, I'm getting into Google Ads, and just post it on your Facebook profile. Well, I'm getting into Google Ads. Does anyone know anyone who might need some help? And somebody will pop up, go, oh, I don't, but I know a guy. Or they'll store it in their head and they'll be like, oh, Robin's learning Google Ads. Next time they speak to somebody who says, oh, I'm having right problems with my Google Ads, they'll be like, oh, my niece does that. Yeah. Yeah.
So the organic first.
Yeah.
When would you like switch over to paid or add paid?
When you've maxed out on the organic, and for myself, for the next while of getting more people into my courses, I'm going to focus on actually getting results for the people because they'll just tell more people.
Yeah.
You know, so the first person who signed up went through the videos and he thought he loved it so much. He mailed me and said, I've told 7 other therapists about your course. It's like, oh, wow. That's what I want to do. So build it so that people refer it to other people anyway. So I want to focus on getting results for people. And then I probably will be doing I've got like 30 podcast episodes of my own, which I've never put up on iTunes. I just left them on SoundCloud. So I should probably do something with that. And given that like so many people signed up when I did appear on that other podcast, I'll probably do podcasts for a little while. So that's kind of organic. That'll be out there. And I do want to start running ads because with ads, I potentially build a little machine once it's dialed in that just keeps bringing people in. So if I figure out that most people stay for 3 months, if my average lifetime value is like $45, then I'm happy to spend $20 or maybe $45 actually to get people in signed up, because maybe every one brings in, you know, refers it on a little bit. So if I can build that little machine, it can then run without me. But I'll probably still do podcasts, YouTube videos, and all those other things, like just producing content and putting it out there. Because once those people sort of come into me, you know, they come into my little universe via all these little breadcrumbs, then they've got all this other content that they can watch for free or listen to. And then, you know, it becomes a bit of a no-brainer for the right person. You know, so
that's why you do the organic. Yeah. if you do the organic first, you have all this content that you can show them. And if you
actually,
keep it,
the way I've created all this content is I haven't sat with a blog and gone, right, here's a blank page. I'm going to write something. What shall I write today? I've bounced around in these forums and somebody's had a question and I've answered it. And then like 2 weeks later, I see a similar question. I go, oh, I've answered that. Let's go and find that previous one. Damn it, I can't find it. I write it again. And I get a bit better each time at writing it until I'm fed up of writing it. In which case I'm like, I can write a thread now. I just create a brand new one and I'll post something instead of replying to people. And I'll post it and I can just write it straight out. I don't have to go and research it. And that bit of content is now battle tested. I know it helps a lot of people because I wrote it a lot of times and I got really slick, and it's now the most condensed, shortest, simplest version that actually gets people to understand it. Because the great thing about a forum or a Facebook group is if someone doesn't understand, they instantly, I didn't get that, and then you reply and you eventually hone it and you figured out how to do that. So all the content I do have in forums that has been generated that way, I now go and put on my blog, and I know it's going to help people. So I could potentially run ads to those as well, of people who are searching for how to solve XYZ. I can run them to this piece of content I've got and maybe have some little upgrade, get a checklist or whatever it is, get the email address, etc. So even the way I created content was to help people first. And if you keep doing that over time, you start, the stuff that, gets repeated, it'll just rise to the top anyway, won't it?
Yeah. No, and that's it. It just keeps going up and up and up. And more people see it, and more people are like, oh, this guy's smart. He knows all the things.
Yeah, there's that. And that is the other beauty of Facebook communities is not only do you get to help people there and then, but you're seen to help people. So you're not just helping that one person, but other people see you helping them. So they think you're a helpful person, but other people get to see that. It's not like an email, where I help somebody just by email and let's just help that one person. And then if it's in a forum bed more than Facebook groups, content in Facebook groups just disappears so fast, doesn't it? Yeah. But in a forum, it can be there forever. And especially if Google indexes it, people come in, they see it. So that's what I'll be doing with all my content. So we're getting the WordPress blog set up now, and then I'll probably get somebody to then sort of copy paste a lot of the articles I've already got into that, rather than me doing it all. And I might just edit it or whatever, get going with the content. And then I'll just probably run a few ads as well to it.
Yeah.
So that people on Google, I don't have to wait for the SEO to kick in. I'll send people to it via ads.
What do you think? Have you had any experience with like Facebook ads?
I ran them probably 2010 for that company where we built 120 million keywords in ads. I haven't run them yet, but I likely will. Because I'm fascinated by it. It's just all my clients want Google ads. They've often got somebody doing the Facebook ads. But what I like about Facebook ads, obviously there's all that data there, but video is probably what I'll be trying on Facebook, and I'll probably be doing that on YouTube as well. So I'll create a little short video, and I got this from Laurel Portier, who has ad coaching for 7.com. So his stuff's very good. I'm in that little group, and she's inspired me with the business model of actually going low ticket and getting people in and actually helping a bunch of people and just building out that business model. And also she started with she's got high ticket consultants, and she's working her way down to the low ticket, which is kind of similar to myself. But what I can see happening, I haven't even started her stuff. I've joined a membership months ago, and her first step is to get your organic game working. Mine is working so well anyway that I've got enough people into the platform, my membership, that I don't need to get any more at the moment to figure out how best to help them. But if I run these ads, it will be if I understand correctly what she does, she runs an ad. She explains what she does and who she helps and all that stuff. and then she retargets people who've watched more than, say, 50% or 25% of the ad. So she just tries to get reach, get as many eyeballs on the video, but the people who click off obviously aren't interested, but the people who watch over a certain amount, she then has sophisticated retargeting campaigns. And that would run as equally on YouTube, and YouTube is a style of Google Ads. So that's why I'm quite interested in applying that video strategy on YouTube. And then once I've done it on YouTube, it'll be the same, similar on Facebook.
No, that's great. Are there any like real differences between like the Google and Facebook?
I would guess that on YouTube, there's for videos on YouTube, like you could be running ads based on what people have searched for, because people go in. YouTube is a kind of search engine. YouTube is more like if a search engine and a social media platform had a baby kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's search, and it's also got the social element to it. What I particularly like about, I'd say, prefer Google Ads to Facebook is somebody right this moment might be searching for exactly what you're selling on Google, and they've got a credit card in hand and they want to buy like Robin's course on how to do XYZ. They literally have typed that in, buy course on XYZ, and that's a buyer. They've got the search intent and they're just looking to give their money to someone. And I liken that to being the apple's already falling out of the tree. It's better than low hanging fruit. It's already falling out of the tree. So just go and put your basket underneath the tree, catch those ones. If there's none, no worries. You've got no spend anyway, because you only pay for the clicks. Okay? So if there's nobody searching, didn't work. But if there is, and there's somebody tonight doing that search, and it's almost like criminal that they haven't found your course and bought it. So that's why I like going to Google first, and then you could go to Facebook, run those ads, and I liken that to kind of, you're increasing brand awareness as well. So at the end of, say, a little video, they might go Google Andy Black Google Ads, to learn about me, or they might Google Ads Bootcamp or whatever, my product name. If I've already got ads up and running on Google, then I'm sending folks from Facebook to Google and I'm capturing them there. So I liken that to going to the apple tree and shaking it so more apples fall out, but you've already got your baskets underneath. Whereas if I go in my mind, if I go to Facebook and get people all interested in, then they go to Google and they search, but I don't have an ad running, they might end up in someone else's basket. So I'm selling their courses from my work on Facebook. So I prefer to get the Google stuff up and running first and then go to Facebook.
No, that makes sense, because people aren't on Facebook more for fun as opposed to Google, where they're searching for, they need help with this, they want it solved now.
Yeah. And then imagine YouTube, where they go on and they're looking for how to do XYZ.
Yeah.
You go onto YouTube to learn something, educate yourself or entertain yourself. And there's all those people searching. And how do they want to learn? Via a video. So if you've got a video course, it's a perfect platform to get people who want to learn via video. So I'm really excited about getting little ads up and running, but I'm not there yet because I'm still busy doing the organic stuff.
That is exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if people wanted to reach you, contact you at all, how would they do that?
Well, the website that I built and building is called inboundmarketeer.com. That's like a musketeer, 2 E's and an R. Yeah, inboundmarketeer.com. That was an aha moment last year when I realized, hold on, I'm not just a Google Ads guy. I've got all my business through inbound marketing, but it's organic. So I can do the paid and the organic. That's when I was like, I'm not just paid inbound guy. So it's inboundmarketeer.com, and then also andyblack.net. So that's my name, .net. And that's actually just a redirect to my LinkedIn profile. That's how mostly I've got business, when somebody will introduce somebody, like even tonight, somebody did a Facebook Messenger with me and somebody else and introduced me and said, this is Andy, I trust him with Google Ads, and I'll leave you two to chat. And then we'll have a chat, and then I'll say, send me an email to andy@andyblack.net. Right, so they'll send an email, but I know they're going to check out andyblack.net. And that just redirects to my LinkedIn profile, which is kind of the best calling card I could have. That's better than a website, because then they can see my history, but also my connections and what people have said, and testimony, proper
those testimonials.
Yeah, exactly. So there's andyblack.net, and then inboundmarketeer.com is the website that I just got started on the 27th of November. So it's fairly new. It's just a new Zenler installation at the minute, but soon it'll be a WordPress with a new Zenler attached somehow.
That's amazing. That's awesome. But I would like to thank you for coming on. I really appreciate all the information and stuff you've given us. Is there any last thing you want to say to our listeners?
It's that line about overthinking. Overthinking is the art of solving problems we don't have. The problem you have is the one directly in front of you. Solve that one, and then move on to the next. And often the one after it isn't the one that you thought it'd be. You know, you solve this, and then you find that. I think that just I remember that all the time. I almost say it every day. It's tattooed on my eyelids. Just solve the problem in front of me. Do the first thing first. And keep chipping away. But then also have the goal of helping people. When your goal is to help people, a lot of other stuff falls out of the way, especially including yourself. You stop getting in your own way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with everything you've done, I mean, you started out basically helping one person, and then you just kept helping people.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think that's great.
A lot of people, especially like video course creators, they're nervous getting in front of video and being on. But if your goal is to help somebody, then it's really interesting. You sort of forget yourself.
Yeah.
You forget about trying to make a nice video. Your goal is to help them, not to create a great video. So you stop redoing it, retaking it, trying to get your lines right. You're just like, I'm trying to help them. And it comes through as well. It comes through in the video.
That's great. Well, again, thank you for coming on.
Brilliant. Thanks, Robin. Thanks for having me.